Hello everyone and welcome to qualifying for the fourth round of the 2016 CRC World Championship. We are here at the Sochi Autodrome for what hopefully should be an intriguing round 4. What hopefully should be an intriguing round 4 of the 2016 CRC World Championship. Qualifying gets underway in around just over 20 minutes time. And we're almost set up to getting underway. But Sochi, it's a very majestic place, Sochi is. It has a lot to it. And it's a very good track to CRC. CRC, obviously, this is only CRC's second year coming here. But CRC always gets a good welcome here. And it's a really nice looking track as well. So, it is a very good venue. It's obviously much criticised. But I think the only reason why it got all that criticism is just because the first ever race here in F1 was not a very exciting race. And just because of that one race, people assumed it's a crap track. But then last year's race was a great race, or one of the best races of the year, in a year which was littered with boring races. So, Sochi is a very good track. But anyway, now it is time to look back on the story of last time out. Shanghai took place on the Saturday, and here's the story of what happened at the Chinese Grand Prix.
Hello and welcome to highlights of the 2016 CRC World Championship. Round 3 of the championship saw the teams head to the Shanghai International Circuit. With a length of 5.4 kilometers, this circuit features a rather interesting and unique combination of corners, including a tightening turn 1 and a long snail corner at turn 13, which is likely to put lots of stress on the tyres, with the obvious overtaking opportunities being the hairpin turn 14 at the end of the kilometre-long straight. Qualifying saw championship leader Will Leslie take his second pole position of the season, edging out his teammate Alex Morse by 3.5 hundredths of a second. Toby Jones qualified in third, a tenth ahead of Hannah Duran in fourth. Rosie O'Driscoll once again impressed to qualify in fifth, just ahead of the two Master Force cars of Matt Coombs, announcing his 100th Grand Prix, and Dan Milliner, who demonstrated better pace in qualifying to place themselves 6th and 7th respectively. Lucy Woodward set a good performance to qualify in 8th, whilst the two contenders of Jack Baldwin and Kieran Hardy rounded out the top 10. Chantel Hawke had looked quick over the course of the weekend, however she was disappointed to qualify in 6th, and to add insult to injury, a 5-place grid penalty from the previous event dropped to 11th. Will Buchan was slightly disappointed with 12th, just ahead of the upgraded CGP racing car of Max von Dragala, who was pleased to qualify in 13th. Lucas Quintana qualified in 14th, just ahead of the two Team Mossad by MAT cars of Matthew Hewson and Abby Ledger. Tow showed better pace in qualifying, with both cars clearing Q1 for the first time this season. However, it was a miserable session for the RTS camp, as both cars just couldn't find any pace, resulting in them lining up in 22nd and 24th, respectively. To the race start, and both United got an equal getaway, with Estley holding the lead. Going into turn 1, Rosie O'Driscoll tried to hang it round the outside of first Hannah Duran and then Toby Jones, but had to back off. At the front though, Estley mistakenly left the door open for his teammates to take the lead, whilst the entire field made it around the first few corners instant free. Down the back straight, and the soft tyre shod Milliner tried to get a run on O'Driscoll, but the Coombs GP driver cut across and contact was made. At the end of lap 1, the order ran as Moores, Estley, Jones, Duran, O'Driscoll, Milliner, Coombs, Baldwin, Woodward and Hawke. After her grid penalty, Dork had opted to put Chantel Hawke on the hard compound tyre, meaning she'd only have to complete one stop, and despite being on the slower tyre, she would seize her way through the field by passing first Jack Baldwin and then Lucy Woodward. Just ahead, Rosie O'Driscoll was struggling to escape from the two Master Force cars. She would eventually lose out to first Milliner and then Coombs. She eventually dropped into the clutches of Chantel Hawke, who would then make an easy pass stick at turn 14. In the battle for third, Hannah Duran was putting Toby Jones under all sorts of pressure. She would then make a pass stick, however with DRS assistance, Jones would strike back. The pair swapped positions on numerous occasions before Duran eventually emerged in front. On lap 17, Dan Milliner pitted in for his first of 3 stops. However, damage from the incident with O'Driscoll meant he was held in the pits for longer than ideal, putting a huge dent in his race. At the front, and the two United were running in close formation, as Esli was putting his teammate under all sorts of pressure, and on lap 7 he was able to make a pass stick at the hairpin. However, a lap later, Moores would immediately strike back. With DRS being fairly powerful down the back straight, the pair simply could not escape from each other and swapped positions on numerous occasions until lap 21, when Esli decided to bail out and pit for his first of 2 stops. The undercut had worked, as when his teammate Moores pitted a lap later, he now had a 2-second gap. Crucially, the pair rejoined behind the hard tyre shod Chantel Hawk, before they both were able to make the pass stick without a problem. When Toby Jones pitted, he rejoined in 5th, however it didn't take long for the master force of Matt Coombs to catch him. Both Coombs GPs were struggling for race pace, and Coombs would eventually pass him as he struggled with back markers. Back at the front, and Esli was still leading, but Moores was gradually starting to reel in his teammate. But as the back markers got involved, a nail-biting moment occurred as the pair threaded their way through. Moores would then eventually pass his teammate. Similar to the first stint, for the next 10 or so laps, the pair swapped positions on numerous occasions. Eventually Esli would lose out and Moores would create a 2-second gap back to his teammate. Lap 34 saw Chantel Hawk pit for a one and only stop. She rejoined in 6th, however when Esli pitted, he rejoined behind the Dork Racing driver. The reigning champion had no problem passing her, but her being able to make those crucial overtakes in the early stint meant she was now on course for a podium. As the race went on, the attrition rate was extremely low, as all 30 cars were still running in the closing stages, until Kerry-Ann Peace took too much curb going into the hairpin and hit the wall, forcing her out of the race. Lucas Quintilia's difficult start of the season would continue when he hit the curb at turn 12 too heavily and rolled, forcing him to leave the race. In the closing stages, it looked like the top 3 had been settled, however going into the hairpin, Will Esli attempted to lap down Phillips, but contact was made, dropping Esli behind Hawk. Many thought it wouldn't take Esli long to make the move, however despite Esli having a straight line speed advantage, Chantel Hawk was doing a fantastic job to defend the position, showing she was in no way, shape or form intimidated by the reigning champion. However, on lap 53, Will Esli put the pressure on the Dork Racing driver and she could do nothing to resist, as Esli was able to take back 2nd place. Meanwhile, Rosie O'Driscoll was having a difficult race due to Coombs GP's poor race pace. Her afternoon would get even more difficult when she collided with backmarker Louis Hyde, dropping her to 9th behind Hardy. Louis Hyde's race was finished when his throttle pedal malfunctioned in his final stop, meaning he was unable to leave his box and had to retire. Due to a botched pit stop, Dan Miller's soft tyre strategy had not worked as intended as he rejoined from his final stop in 9th. However, he was on a charge as he was able to pass first O'Driscoll, then Hardy to take 7th place. Meanwhile, back at the front and taking his first win of the season, Alex Moores pulled off a fantastic drive to prove he still can take the fight to his teammate by winning the Chinese Grand Prix on pure merit. A slightly disappointed Will Esli brought his car home in 2nd, knowing that his record streak of wins was at an end. And rounding out the podium, Chantel Hawk pulled off a fantastic drive to make a hard tyre strategy work to take her first podium of the season with a sublime drive to 3rd. Hannah Duran brought her Dork Racing car home in 4th, completing a good result for Dork. Matt Coombs enjoyed a good race to finish in 5th, ahead of Toby Jones, who could only manage 6th after struggling for race pace. Dan Miller's late race charge saw him rise to 7th, completing a good race for Masterforce, ahead of Kieran Hardy in 8th. A scrappy race for Rosie O'Driscoll left her down in a disappointing 9th, while Jack Baldwin collected the final point in 10th. Barron and Aston were extremely disappointed to just miss out on points in 11th and top respectively. Matthew Tucson finished in 30th ahead of Max Wondragala, who expected more from CGP's upgrades. Avi Leggett brought her car home in 15th ahead of Dan Phillips in 16th and Phoebe O'Connor, who pulled off a good drive to get up to 17th from a lowly grid position. However, RTS know they need to improve the car to prevent this season from being a failure. In the driver's standings, Will Esli still leads the way, however Alex Moores has reduced the gap to 13 points. The two Coombs GPs of Toby Jones and Rosie O'Driscoll lie just behind in 3rd and 4th, just ahead of the two Dorks of Hannah Duran and Chantel Hawk. Dan Milner lies just behind in 7th, just ahead of Matt Coombs, whose 5th place finish has moved him up to 8th, with the two Gindanas of Kieran Hardy and Jack Baldwin rounding out the top 10. In the constructors' standings, there is not much change. Yatoro can now have a considerable lead over Coombs GP in 2nd. Dork's good result from this race has closed the gap to Coombs GP, however there are still many teams yet to get off the mark. The next race will be the Russian Grand Prix, and you can watch that race live as it happens. Just simply head to this YouTube channel on the 24th of April and follow links to the live broadcast. The times for the race, preceding sessions and support race streams will be confirmed on the CRC site at crcracing1.wix.com/official and the CRC Twitter at twitter.com/crcracing1 on the Wednesday before the race. Also, don't forget you can rate this race and vote for your driver of the day via the link in the description, and you can subscribe to this channel for more CRC streams and highlight videos. As well as this, visit the CRC site and Twitter for news and league information. We hope you enjoyed today's highlights, and we will see you next time for round 4, the 2016 CRC World Championship.
Wow, that was a very interesting race that we saw in Shanghai a week ago. Of course, we now move to Sochi, which is round 4 of the 2016 CRC World Championship, the 21 race season that we are having here this year. In what has certainly been a fairly interesting season. We saw a very interesting race in Australia. Then in Bahrain, we saw not really a thriller, but China we saw a decent race. But it's going to be an interesting race here tomorrow. So we're almost set for qualifying. We've got 9 minutes to go till we get underway for the qualifying session. In what is set to be an interesting qualifying session, but who is going to get pole in here at Sochi? That's the big question. Of course, it'll be the first part of qualifying that will obviously open proceedings here today. Anyway, I'll be right back. Then it'll be almost time for qualifying. So I'm back. We've got 7 minutes to go before we get underway for the 4th qualifying session of the year. But we are almost set for the qualifying session. But it is now time for qualifying for round 4, the 2016 CRC World Championship. Hello everyone, welcome to Sochi for qualifying for round 4 for the 2016 CRC World Championship. It's a track that consists of 19 corners and it will consist of 53 laps in tomorrow's Grand Prix with a circuit length of 5.848 km and a race distance of 310.209 km. So, of course we saw a thrilling race here last year. Let's hope that we can see a similar race here this year. In the race last year that saw the two Yanaparokas absolutely go hammer and tongs for the race win. As you can see, turn 3 that we're looking at the moment. It's Sochi's signature corner. It's a very hold your breath corner. Turn 3 is. But there's so many fascinating corners. It's got a very nice explosion that the track does. As we're looking down back at the straight, getting a long braking zone, off run up to the braking zone. But so we see an interesting qualifying, like we saw in Formula E just now. Yes, go Sam Bird! Unfortunately, we haven't watched the Formula E race live because I'm participating in the FSR Hammer, but I'll watch the recording of that. And we're almost set for qualifying here in Sochi. We're just waiting to get underway. We've got Q1 gets underway in 3 minutes time, or just under, just over 2 minutes for the first part of qualifying. So we're almost set. What should be an interesting qualifying session. So 30 cars, of course we're going to be pushing that down to 20 after Q1, where we're going to lose the first 10, then we're going to lose the next 10, with the top 10 going through into Q3. We're just awaiting the first car to qualify. Yes, here we go. Haven't got the plugin enabled yet, it appears that the plugin's not working yet. May have a little bit of a delay, sorry about that, just because the quality plugin's not worked. So I'm going to have to restart the game. Annoyingly. So I'm just going to have to restart the game. That's odd, it's on. So it should theoretically be working. Let's just have a look again. So theoretically it should be working because it's on. I don't know why it's not working. I mean, there is obviously the alternative method, which takes more work, more effort, and it will take longer. I need to enable it here. I think that it's not enabled here. In the, let's just see if it's enabled now. Apologies for the delay. It just didn't work. Yep, I've got it working now. So now I just need to rejoin the game, which obviously takes a while. That's the annoying thing when you have to restart the game. I have to reload all the cars again. You have to get all the cars reloaded. That's the annoying thing about having to restart the game. But Q1 is about to get underway very shortly. It's really annoying when you have to do that because you obviously then have to wait for it to load all the cars. This is to enable the knockout qualifying format, so it's not just a long hour session. But we can skip to qualifying now because it should load the next 10 cars in the next 30 seconds. Yeah, we're ready. Let's get qualifying underway. Here we go. Qualifying is underway. No immediate activity yet, or we do have activity now. Qualifying is underway, and it's the Lockie that looks like it's going to be the first out on track of Gary Carter, who's immediately followed out by Matthew Tewson. Chloe Carter is first out on track. In the Lockie. But it'll be very interesting because I think the Lockie will be a car that will be fighting to get out of Q1. But it'll be interesting to see where, because I think the cars we should expect to fall, obviously HWR and Speed Tech. Then probably Shantana, probably RTS, then maybe the Lockies and Toves fighting out. Now you're looking at Carter. Let's see where the likes of Prix cars are going to end up in this session. Obviously, yet to get any points on the board are Lockie. Only 7 teams have actually got points on the board so far. As Carter heads into the penultimate corner now, into the final corner. He goes on a 35-1. Two's into the 34-8. Phoebe O'Connor's on a lap, 34-0, Jack Baldwin. 33-7 for Hannah Duran. Let's see what Phoebe is going to do on this lap. Just look at that. This car just looks all over the place at the moment. Only good enough for 9. This car is just all over the place. Now here you're looking at the moth of Abulegit. Just think where RTS are now. Now they've got to be happy today if they actually get a car past Q1. They're going to have to be happy about that. They should be pleased about that. If they do. Because they know that car is not the car to be driving right now. But the question is if they can bring some updates to the coming rounds, then if they can actually turn things around. Abulegit goes up into 10th ahead of her teammate, Matthew Tewson. Alex Moore's gone only 3rd, but should be good enough to get in. It's only to get in. Here's Ben Blakeman. What can he do? Because Shantano's showing good pace here this weekend compared to previous rounds. They get up there with RTS. As Ben Blakemore heads up to turn 14. Into the final 2 corners. Up to 80, that's good for Ben Blakemore. That could put pressure on a few cars. Let's have a look at the blue. Let's see what's going to happen with him, because he's got a bit of traffic though in his DMAD. Well, Essie's on a lap, but obviously we should expect him to be able to make it without a problem. Essie goes to the top of the 32.6, that should be enough, obviously enough to get in. Heads into the final corner. 13, so that should be enough to get in for Lucas. No son of Louise Morrow or Luke Julian on track yet. Dan Phillips is out there. He's the only one who hasn't set a time that's actually out there at the moment. Matt Coombs is looking like he might be in a bit of trouble down there in 20th. But he's going out for another one. Louise Morrow's going out there. Of course, Luke Julian has failed to make it out of that didn't make it past Q1 last time out. Now here's Dan Phillips. Let's see what he can do. So in the middle section now, just trying to gain time, obviously in this fast-flowing section, Dan Phillips. Now through the sweepers, which is the DRS zone as well. Let's see how long he keeps his DRS open. Into the sweeper. He gets it closed way before the braking zone. Julian's out on track. So Phillips heads into the final two corners. Let's see where he's going to go. Splits the two Mossets in P15. That should be enough. Matt Coombs on the lap. Did he get a bit held up there by the Mossett exiting the pit? No. Well, he actually did have to go a bit offline. And he's down. This is not looking good for Matt Coombs at the moment. But if he can find time in the second and third sectors, he's really lost time. Through that. But he needs to really go for it. You can only get one lap after these tyres. So, there's the Shuntana ahead. I think Coombs is in trouble here. Matt Coombs could be in real trouble here. With the Shuntana ahead. Matt Coombs, we could see maybe drop out in Q1. Oh, he makes it in. He finds time in the final set. He goes up to 12. That would have been a relief to him, to say the least. Louise Morrow has only gone 23rd. Luke Julian. Because once Luke Julian set a time, everyone would have set a time. '18. So the drop zone is at the moment Bland, Carter, Blakemore, Morrow, Williams, O'Connor, Howie, Everson, Lang and Hyde. So that's actually kind of like what I was expecting. David Bland knows all that. I was expecting it to be probably the Lockies and Toes fighting it out for the who's not for the final place in Q2. Let's see what David Bland can do. It's his teammate that he could displace. So down the straight he goes. There's a car ahead. I think, is that a speed tech? No, it isn't. So, into turn 3 he goes. Let's see what David Bland is capable of. I can't speak. Capable of on this lap. So, he's down on his previous best, so probably his final chance. But let's see what he can do. As he now heads into the sweepers. He's found time in the second sector, so he can find time in the final sector. So he now heads to the end of the lap. Is he going to be able to find enough time in this final sector to be able to get himself into Q2? So he heads into the final corner. Is it going to be enough for David Bland? It's an improvement, but it's not enough. So David Bland, so at the moment, unless he can somehow get out in time, is going to miss out. It looks like Bland is done. Wait and see if we're going to see any more of the bottom 10 go out there. Mongo's on a lap. He's on the cusp. As he heads into the penultimate corner, so he could be susceptible of an attack if, say, if Carter gets through. No improvement. Or if someone like Blakemore, an RTS, or a Santana surprise. Without Ben Blakemore. Yellow out there. So who's had a problem, I wonder? I think I saw a bit of dust coming off Hawk's car as she went through. Oh, she did. Abby Legit did that this morning. Just hit the brakes and then went off, but she is safe, so it won't affect her. So, can Ben Blakemore do anything? Heading into the middle sector. As he now heads into the final two corners. Let's see what Blakemore can do. He's matched his best at the moment. Into the final corner. Is this going to be enough for Blakemore? No, it isn't. So Blakemore misses out. Both RTSs have gone out there for another one. As Alex Moore goes to the top. Oops. So it's two RTS we need to keep an eye on. Blakemore's not going to go through because he's going to be pitting at the end of this current lap, I'm presuming. Oh, Blakemore spun it. So what happened there between O'Connor and Blakemore? Oh, he went to the inside and just drifted back across. But it's the two RTSs we need to keep an eye on. Morrow might have a bit of a problem because she's got Kieran Hardy, who might pass her. Chloe Carter as well, we need to really keep an eye on. Harvey Williams has just started the lap. Let's see if he's going to improve. No improvement at the moment. No improvement in the first sector. And Louise Morrow's already had to let Hardy through, and I think that's her done. Without Phoebe O'Connor, what can she do? She's up, but she's found a 10th on her previous best as Phoebe O'Connor. That was a good first sector for Phoebe O'Connor. She's the one we need to watch. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Leslie goes to the top of the 32.3, but that looked a little bit iffy going into this section of the track. Of course, it's a good track for Phoebe, this is. She won here in CGP2. She's still up. But it's the final sector. Is she going to be able to find time in the final sector? I don't think this will be enough to get into Q2. But this might move her within the bottom 10. So where's this going to put Phoebe? Oh, she lost time in the final sector. That was not a very good final sector. Without Chloe Carter, she's down. I think that is it. I think that is it. Unless it's going to allow Phoebe to finish this lap, but she's got the Master Force that wants to get through behind. That's going to also cost her. The Master's going to want to pass. Even though that was... She didn't actually lose time there, but she's being forced to pit anyway. Yet we do have our bottom 10. Fourth race running, O'Connor doesn't progress. Of course, she was quick enough to progress in the first two races, and the past two, they just haven't been quick. But that is Q1. But now it's time for Q2. So it's now time for Q2. So, 10 seconds to go till the Q2 gets underway. And we are underway for Q2. And it is Abby Leggett who's opened the session. in the Team Moffat by MAT. But let's see what Abby's going to be able to do on this lap. Got the Baronasso behind. Hopefully she won't lose out by the Baronasso trying to get through. Cars excellent pit for Dianata Roca. Abby is going to lose out here. And now that's the lap gone for Legit. Because Lucy Woodward got through. And the lap gone for Lucy Woodward as well. Let's see who else on that, because they're not going to be setting any timing screens or lights. Here's Toby Jones. It's 36-0 for Legit. 358 for Woodward. 33-4 for Jones. Here is Jonto Hawk. Let's see what she can do. She goes to the top of the 33-1. Dork are definitely quicker than Dianata Roca this weekend. No sign of Alex Moore's on track yet. We've got a yellow out there. Oh, there goes Quintanilla into the wall. So what happened here? Contact with Toby Jones and got held around by Kieran Hardy as well. Well, Essie's definitely about to finish the lap, and this should easily be enough to get in to Q3. So 32-4 for Wellesley. So here's Luke Julian in the CGP racing car. So Driscoll goes up into third. Let's see what Luke Julian can do. Will Buchan currently in fifth. It's looking like Barrett, so we might see make a Q3 appearance here. As into the final corner goes Luke Julian. So across the line he goes. He goes up into 11th, goes Luke. No sign of Alex Moore's out there yet. Neither Ortuson nor Mongol. So Milner goes up into 7th. Let's have a look at Anna Duran. She's on a lap at the moment in the Dork. Heading towards the end of the lap. Into the penultimate corner. Now into the final corner goes Hannah Duran. Let's see where she's going to go. She goes up into third. So both Dorks should be safely in. So Moores, Towson and Mongol have not gone out on track yet. Here is Max on Bugala. Mongol's out there. They're waiting more than Towson. Only 3 cars are actually out there at the moment. Duran, Wondagala and Mongol. So Wondagala goes into the final corner and goes up to 15th at the moment, so ahead of, so behind his teammate. Alex Morse is going out there, so I think he's just wanting to get through on just one lap and just wanting to not really risk anything. Phillips is going again. Let's see what Tom Mongol can do. Towson's going out there. The drivers who he needs to keep an eye on, definitely both Woodward and Leggett, because they have not really set a proper lap yet. I'm pretty sure they will be going again. I'm very surprised they don't. But let's have a look at what Tom Mongol can do on this lap. In the Tove. As there's a D-Mad exiting the pits. Of Lucas Quintanilla. Lucas Quintanilla currently on the cusp of getting through at the moment. So 34.8 in the first sector for Tom Mongol. Let's see. As Legit's gone out on track. What Mongol's gonna do? He crossed the line to go 16th. Alex Moores is just finishing a lap. Matthew Toussaint's on a lap. Still awaiting Lucy Woodward. Alex Moores is about to go up to second. That's going to get him in. What about Matthew Toussaint? So, let's see where he's going to go. Round the final. That's a good final complex, up to 12th. So, that's a good time. But it's Lucy Woodward and Abby Legit, one of the people we need to keep an eye on. Let's see where Lucy Woodward might be able to go. As Abby Legit crossed the line to start a lap. So, here comes Legit. Lucy Woodward might have a bit of traffic on her lap. Will Buchan's well inside Q3. So, into the sweepers goes Legit. Into the sweeping turn 3, into turn 4. Six tenths up on her previous best, unsurprisingly, because that was a clean first sector. Unlike her last lap where she had problems with another car. It's this flowing section that the drivers really like. And now into the sweepers. She's up on her previous best. Of course. Let's see where this final sec's going to put her. Where is Abby going to go on this lap? This will probably be her last lap for second. Kieran Hardy set personal best. She goes up to 12th, so ahead of Toussaint. That's a good lap from Abby Legit. Fantastic lap. I don't think Toussaint can be able to go again. Lucy Woodward's on a lap at the moment, so let's see what Lucy Woodward can do. Can she get herself into the top 10 shootout? But let's see what Lucy Woodward can do, because her teammate is in the shootout at the moment. Can Lucy Woodward get herself in? If she does, that will displace Kieran Hardy, who I don't think is going to have another lap. So into the final corner goes Lucy Woodward, and she gets into the top 10, so that pushes Kieran Hardy out. Jack Baldwin is on a lap. Kieran Hardy is finishing a lap. He's finished doing another one. Let's see what Kieran Hardy can do. He doesn't get in. Without Jack Baldwin. He's down. But it looks like it might be a disappointing qualifying for Quintana. Baldwin misses out. We have a yellow out there. To be honest, I don't see who else is going to be able to improve considering their tyres are all gone. I think that's going to be it. It looks like we know who we're going to lose. I think that's it. So the timer's not finished yet, but no one's going to improve. Everyone's already done their laps. We're just waiting for the battle of the Inasarokas. The Brown Asa will be pleased to get both cars into Q2. Into Q3, so both Brown Assos will be progressing. But Guindana, both cars failed to make it. But both Guindanas failed to make it. That is probably the biggest shock of this past qualifying. Both Guindanas don't make it in. Time for Q3. So Q3 is underway. First on track is Matt Coombs. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what Coombs is going to do. Alex Morris has already gone out there. But has got the Coombs GP ahead of Rosie O'Driscoll. Is that actually going to affect him on his first? And that could make things interesting. Chantel Hawke going out on track as Matt Coombs starts his lap. With Lucy Woodward also going out there as well. Let's see what Alex Morris is going to do. In his Guinness Road, he won last time out in China. Will he be able to keep that momentum this weekend in Sochi? As across the line he goes. O'Driscoll's out there ahead of him. Walesi hasn't gone out there yet. So into turn 1. Now up to now the fast sweeping turn 3. To 4 in this real flowing section of the track. Let's see how Alex is going to get this section of the track. A bit of oversteer going into there. Now up towards turn 6, I believe this is. But it's looking a bit scruffy so far for Alex Morris. Matt Coombs at 33.6. Oh, that was not how Alex Morris would have wanted to take turn 11. As he heads down the back straight into turn 14. To round to the 33.2. I don't think this is the best lap Alex Morris has done in the world. Understeer as well. Into the final 2 corners. So across the line. It's a 32.2 for Alex Morris. Which is actually a good time. What has Walesi got? Melina and Essie haven't been out there yet. Chantel Hawke is on a lap at the moment. Let's see what she can do. Final corner. She goes up into second. Toby Jones starts up. We're just waiting for Walesi. I think this indicates he's just going to do the one run. As here is Toby Jones, so still awaiting Walesi. So SC and Milner yet to go out there. So into the final two corners goes Toby Jones. Into the final corner. Let's see where this is going to put him. It puts him in between the two Dork Racing cars. So just Will Esley and Dan Miller. We are awaiting Will Esley to go out there. The reigning champion. Toby Jones, the only car on track at the moment. So, it's Milner and Esley that we're waiting for. Esley did this in Singapore last year, didn't he? He just sat there, waiting for the right moment. So, just waiting to see when the reigning champion is going to get out on track. Just sitting there, waiting. So no one out on track at the moment. It's just a very quiet pit lane now. Track. There's no activity. Everyone's in the garage, just awaiting the final runs. Will Esley clearly thinking that this one lap. Wonder what he is doing in the garage at the moment. Just visualizing that magic lap. So, who's it going to be? Who's going to go out on track first? Four minutes left on the clock. Out on track goes Rosie O'Driscoll. Matt Coombs goes out there. Just wondering if SE has had a problem earlier on. No, he didn't, so he's just not been out there yet. Same with Milner. He's just not been out there yet. But they are going to have to get a move on the likes of SC and Millen if they're actually going to want to set a time. Because, so minute 32 lap, they might be forced to pit. That's the thing. It needs to be in the next 40 seconds, Will SC needs to. He needs to, like, soon. So are we actually going to see him go out there? Apparently they're having a problem getting his car out on track. Same with Dan Miller. We're just going to watch Rosie O'Driscoll and we're going to see if he's gone out there. I don't think Wes is going to be able to get a time in. Oh, Essie's going out there now, so I think he might just have got there in time. Or has he? I think Will Essie might just Just got out there in time. He might just. It's just a question of where on his lap he is going to be when the checkered flag goes out. If it's just before the pit lane, with a minute 32 lap, he's going to be around here when he's finishing his lap, so it'll be here when the pit signal, it will signal him into the pits. When the timer comes on, because he'll be in the final sector. He crosses the line now. He will be in the final sector. But is it going to allow him to finish the lap? That is the big question. Dan Milner is not going to set a time. Dan Milner is not going to set a time, but all what SE can do is just do what he can. I mean, he knows he might not get to finish the lap, and then that would mean he'd be ninth. So when is the timer going to go on? So that would mean he'd be ninth on the grid, which it's doable from there to get onto the podium. But he doesn't want the gap to go too small. He set a purple first sector, so at a 33.4 in the first sector. But is he going to get to finish the lap? So, what's his final sector like? He's got 4 seconds on the clock left. So the timer's going to come on. The checker flag is out now. And the pit signal's on. Wesley is not going to get to finish his lap. He didn't set a purple second sector, but Wesley is not going to be allowed to finish his lap. So he is going to start 9th. Boy, we have a race now. Alex Moores is on pole position. I think Yanata Roka thought that if he was in the final sector, it wasn't a problem. I think Yanata Roka and he thought that if he was in the final sector, it would allow him to finish the lap, but it didn't. Wow, we have a race. Yanata Roka, I think, made that mistake. I don't think that was a problem. I think they assumed that if he was in the final sector, he'd get to finish the lap, and they wanted to give it a surprise for Alex Moores. But that's not going to happen. So, Alex Moores, Rosie O'Driscoll got up to 3rd in the end, so Rosie O'Driscoll will start 3rd. But now we have a race. We have a race on our hands. What an interesting qualifying session. But it's going to be very interesting to see what SC progress. But this is 2015 stock. But the good thing about this, for us, is we should have a decent race. And I'll be right back then. I'll give you a rundown of the grid. Actually, I will have to end the stream shortly because of the FSR. But now we have a race in our hands. But it's an interesting what people are going to do on strategies. But that's something that I think needs to be sorted out. Because there's nothing that the organisation can actually do about cars getting forced to pits. There's nothing they can actually do about it. So, and it is a little bit unfair. Drivers aren't able to finish their laps. There's not really much. So I'm pretty sure they should really create some rules. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow with obviously we got CGP2 coming up later today, but we have the CRC race tomorrow, which gets underway at 12. See you then. Goodbye.